Roy.
Yeah.
Just got Cummings' medical report from his GP in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It confirms the fact that he was impotent, incapable of erection. It was a psychological condition he'd suffered from since puberty. I can do it. Tell me something, Miss Talbot.
Yes?
Was, Dr. Strauss aware of the fact that Mr. Cummings was impotent?
I wasn't privy to what went on in Douglas's sessions with his psychiatrist.
Well, I thought perhaps maybe your cousin Elaine told you.
Of course not, but you have all the tapes of his work with Henry. Why don't you listen to it? Find out for yourselves.
Oh, we will.
Don't you think it's time you stopped harassing me and started questioning Franny Hughes? Ask her how she could claim that a manically depressed, impotent young man could rape her.
Hold it right there. Nobody's accused Doug Cummings of rape.
Oh, well, that's very interesting.
But he did attack Franny Hughes.
That's her version. Unfortunately, Douglas isn't here to give us his. She and her stepmother murdered Douglas in cold blood, and you're not doing a damn thing about it.
He tore her dress. We were there. We saw it. Furthermore, judging from her emotional condition, she was sure that it was an attempted rape, whether or not he did any.
For God's sake, hasn't it even occurred to you that she ripped the dress herself?
Oh.
Hey, look, lady, look, we're getting sick of you telling us how to do our job, particularly when you created this whole smoke screen to protect Cummings, and you knew he was a murderer.
What does it matter? He's gone now.
Yeah, well, it matters a hell of a lot to the people who are family and friends of the people who were killed, including your own cousin.
I'm sorry for all of them, but the point is you're wasting time badgering me. You should be doing the same thing to Franny Hughes. Then maybe she'll break down and admit that she and Kim deliberately set Douglas up and murdered him.
Yeah, well, we'll take that under advisement.
You do that.
Now, get her out of here. Put her back in the cell.
You'll see. I'm right.
Now what?
What is it?
I just find it very hard to believe that either Franny or Kim Hughes is capable of doing the things she's been telling us.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Look, I'm going over to Hughes' house and pick up Heather. Hughes' house and pick up Heather. If Franny's in any condition to talk, I'm gonna find out what she's got to say about all this.
Morning, Mr. Hughes.
Good morning.
I hope you and Franny are up to answering a few questions for me. Hi.
Oh, hi, darling.
Is Dad still here?
No, he's at the hospital. If you have time, could you stay? I think Franny could use a little help.
What's Detective Munson doing?
Oh, he's questioning us about Douglas's death.
Good morning, Hal. Tom. How you doing? How you doing, kiddo?
Okay.
Tom, I want you to know that Kim and Franny have agreed to be in question today, and they are aware of the fact that this session is being taped. You don't mind if I hang around, do you? No, there's really no need for a lawyer present, but... just consider me a member of the family. Okay. Franny, you said you went into the master bedroom to try to convince Doug to fly Kim back home. Can you tell me why you were wearing a dress that belonged to his first wife?
Yes. After I showered, the only clean clothes I could find belonged to Caroline.
You weren't trying to confuse Doug by walking in like that?
What?
Hal, I don't know if I understand the intent of that question, but I'm not so sure I like it. Bear with me, okay? Franny, now, let's take it from the time that you opened the door. What happened?
Doug was lying on the bed. I went over to him. He was surprised to see me. I lied, and I said that we could still have a life together, but he had to fly Kim home first. He thought that was a trick. He wanted me to prove that I was telling the truth by making love to him.
He actually used those words?
Yes.
Now, I don't want to embarrass you, but I need to get some personal information, okay? You and Doug were engaged to be married, right?
Yes.
How long had you been seeing each other?
For months.
In all that time, did he ever try to make love to you?
Not really.
Well, yes or no?
No.
You're a beautiful young woman. Didn't you ever think that was a little bit strange?
Now, I think that's enough questions for one day, don't you?
No, I want to understand what Mr. Munson is getting at. Doug never really came on to me
But you
until the day he tried to rape me.
You spent all that time alone together at his apartment above the restaurant, and then you got engaged? And all that time, didn't you ever have any indication that Doug Cummings was impotent?
Did Marcia tell you that? She's lying.
I'm sorry, Franny. I didn't mean to get you so upset.
Well, you did.
Franny, we got all Doug's medical records up from Houston that corroborate Marcia's story. Doug Cummings was impotent since puberty.
No, I don't believe that. That's impossible.
You just told me that he never tried to make love to you.
That's because that he knew that Kevin had hurt me. He didn't want to put any pressure on me. He said that we'd wait until after we were married.
How do you know that just wasn't another excuse?
Because we had very intimate, romantic moments. There were times when I knew that he wanted me. I didn't imagine that.
Right, come here. Sit down. Look, Doug was a master of deception in a lot of ways. Is it possible that he deceived you in this way?
No, I would have said something was wrong, and I didn't.
Let's go back to the time that you were alone, together, in the bedroom. Are you absolutely certain that the attack was sexual?
Yes.
Can you be more specific? Exactly what did Doug Cummings do to you? How can you be so certain that he was trying to rape you?
Oh, hell, for heaven's sake.
Franny, will you do something for me? Take off your clothes. I want to see how beautiful you are.
I can't tell you anymore.
Franny, I know that this is very difficult and it is very painful to remember, but I need to know every detail. I need to know why you were so convinced that he was trying to force you into sexual intercourse.
How? Ask Kim. She'll tell you. So you're not.
Well, I can get those papers signed if you get them over to the office.
Oh, how's Franny?
She's still very upset.
You know, right before she went upstairs, she said, ask Kim. Can you tell me what she meant by that?
I suppose she meant that I could tell you more about the attack because I walked in on it.
Well, maybe you can help me understand Franny's story. If the man was impotent, how could she think that he was trying to rape her?
You know the kind of physical condition that Doug was in. He had no problem overpowering Franny. He terrified her. He threw her down on the bed. He begged her to make love to him. He ripped her dress. When I walked in, he was on top of her on the bed and attacking her. What the hell else would she think it was?
Kim, I'm going to need Dad's signature on some papers regarding Doug's will. Could you have him come by the office so we can get it taken care of before?
Why don't I just call him now?
All right. Listen, then I'm going to take off, all right?
Oh, if I don't see you before you go, good luck on your trip and have a safe trip.
I will.
Where are you headed, Tom?
London. My wife.
Margot is really something special. Will you give her my best?
Sure. So, did you get all the answers you need?
For now, anyway. All right, Mark.
Why? Why, sir? Why can't I be on the case? Huh? Now that I'm back, why not?
Because your name is Hughes, and Kim and Franny Hughes are involved, so you're not. Now, here's your assignment. Hudson Department Stores. They're having a rash of inside thefts.
You're kidding me, sir, aren't you? You are kidding. You gotta be kidding.
Oh, yeah. I'll get right over there. Yeah. Got to see the commissioner.
Please wait. Please wait. Sir, I really object to this Mickey Mouse assignment.
Lieutenant,
Is the work.
there is no way
Lay
that
down.
I can
Anything
handle
else?
it. This is
Something
to
more
have
serious?
somebody to help me.
Hi, Hal.
Welcome back, Margot.
Thanks.
What was that all about?
Hudson's department store is getting a rash of inside theft. Guess who's lucky enough to be investigating?
Hey, you got an easy case. Enjoy it. You get to go home at night. You get to sleep.
You get to watch TV with your husband, you know? You say something wrong?
Oh, you might as well know. Tom and I've split. We're getting divorced. Fine. Really? Well, I'm not the only person in the world whose marriage hasn't worked out.
Well, you know, you don't have to tell me. I've been through it.
Oh, I forgot, Hal. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. I'm not the only person in the world whose marriage hasn't worked out. Munson. No, the lieutenant's not in right now. Okay, send him in. Our illustrious DA has just arrived.
I'm going to split. We hate each other's guts.
Why?
Because he's a sore loser, and Tom and I happen to be winners.
Detective Hughes.
Mr. Hobson.
Here you walked away from your big promotion. What's your game, downward mobility?
Hughes? What's that, sir?
Name keeps coming up in the Cummings investigation. You'll hear a lot more of it before we close the file.
Himself.
What is the DA doing here, okay? And why does he have a file marked Hughes? I know you know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, Hal. We'll talk, okay?
I've read all the statements, and I met with Marcia Talbot and...
Marcia Talbot's as demented as Doug Cummings was. She killed Kevin Gibson. She would have killed Franny Hughes if he hadn't jumped in her way.
Well, there are some striking discrepancies between Mrs. Hughes' statement and Marcia Talbot's account of what happened.
I'm sure there are. Kim Hughes was telling the truth.
I have some problems with Franny Hughes' statement as
You're
well.
talking about the fact that Doug Cummings was impotent. Franny Hughes had every reason to believe that he was attacking her sexually.
That's not what I'm talking about. Bring in the model. I had it made in Boulder. The model of the bedroom where Cummings was killed. Thank you. I had it made to scale. Perfectly accurate. Now, this is where Cummings was killed. I'll show you one of the problems I have with Kim Hughes' statement. Just look closely.
Yes,
Mrs. Hughes says she stabbed Cummings while he was here on the bed struggling with her stepdaughter. Now, after she stabbed him, she pulled him off of her, dropped the weapon next to him on the floor.
So what's the problem?
The problem is, how did this bed hanging get slashed? And how did Cummings' blood get on this hanging?
I guess the only person who could answer that would be Kim Hughes.
But I will be very interested to hear her explanation. So far, the evidence certainly contradicts the story she told you at the scene of the crime.
Listen, come here. I want to talk to you.
The murder weapon was found on the floor here. Over here, on this bed hanging, there was a slash, and on this bed hanging, there was blood, and it turns out that it's Cummings.
You know, I just don't understand. Why is Hobson going to all the trouble to have all these scale models and all? I mean, it's a cut and dry case to me.
No, your guess is as good as mine. I'm just bringing you up to date, like I was told.
So he said that he's going to question Kim and Franny Hughes again, right?
Yeah, sometime in the next couple of days.
Hi, boys.
Hey.
Hi, Mark.
What is that?
It's a scale model of the room where Doug Cummings was killed. Since the crime happened in Colorado, the DA had this made.
Yeah, but why? Why would he have it made? And why would he spend the time and the money to have it made when the case is so crystal clear?
Detective Hughes, I thought Lieutenant McCluskey made it clear that you would have nothing at all to do with this investigation.
Look, wait a minute. She came in here so she could...
Roy, thank you, but I can speak for myself. I came here looking for Lieutenant McCluskey, sir, not an argument. So if you'll excuse me. I'll see you tonight, Roy, okay?
Sure. Fine.
Bye.
What did she mean by that?
We're going to the same dinner party, or a family thing, you know, 50.
Oh, I didn't know you were a close friend of the Hugheses.
No, I'm not exactly, but you see, I know them because
I'm
my
not
lady
interested in
friend-
how you know them. If I thought you were too close to them, I'd have you removed from the case, too.
Sir, Margot has
I don't want
every
you telling
reason to be
Detective
interested.
Hughes anything until this investigation is completed. Certainly not until I've talked to Kim and Franny Hughes. I don't want them primed. Did you tell her about the slashed bed hanging and the blood stains?
No.
Well, that's good.
Sir, I don't understand. What is
Yes.
this?
That's why you're a cop and I'm a lawyer. I intend to show this to Kim and Franny Hughes and have them describe to me exactly what happened, how and where it happened. Now, if they can show me that and explain the slashed bed hangings and the blood stains, fine. And if they can't,
If they can't, what?
have this model returned to my office. And remember, not one word to Detective Hughes.
It's just...
You wanted to see me?
Yes, I want to go over a few things before I set up that appointment with the Hugheses. Could you read me the statement you took from Mrs. Hughes again?
Sure. I went to look for Franny, but the bedroom door was either locked or stuck.
Which we found no evidence to support. Go on.
So I managed to tie some blankets together and climb out of the window. I went back into the house and up the staircase when I heard a scream. I opened the door to the master suite and I saw Douglas Cummings on top of Franny on the bed. He was attacking her. I tried to reason with him, but he was too far gone, so I did the only thing I could. I used the crystal cylinder to stop him.
On the bed?
Yes.
Well, not only does her story not explain the slashed bed hanging or the blood stain, but I've just got the medical examiner's report from Boulder. The autopsy reveals that the angle with which the weapon entered the body totally contradicts her story of how she stabbed him when he was lying face down.
Oh? How so?
Well, according to this, a woman of Mrs. Hughes's height who was right-handed. The only way it could have happened is if she was standing and facing him. Here, I'll show you. You're Cummings. I'm Mrs. Hughes.
It's not how she described it at all.
I know.
All I know is Hobson was behind closed doors with the commissioner all night. Now, what that means is anybody's guess.
Hopefully it means the commissioner talked him out of bringing the case before the grand jury. What is this thing still doing here? I thought he wanted it back in his office.
Oh, I saw him when he was coming out of the commissioner's office. He said there was no rush.
That's a good sign.
Gentlemen, thought you'd like to know that I've called off the press conference I had scheduled for this afternoon.
Does that mean that you won't be bringing the case before the grand jury, sir?
Not at all. Means that my late-night meeting with the commissioner delayed my getting my statement ready for the press. Since the Hughes case is going to stir quite a controversy in the community, I want to think it out very carefully. I intend to be well prepared before I charge Kim Hughes with second-degree murder. Something matter, Hal?
Oh, it's your decision, sir, but I can't help feeling that...
What?
That the grand jury is going to throw your case out before you even had a chance to present it.
Oh, I doubt that. But I am counting on you to help me convince them.
Sir?
Well, after all, you were at the scene of the murder shortly after it happened. Your testimony will be very important to me.
Yeah, but what about Roy Franklin? He was there, too.
Well, I don't think I would call on Franklin to testify. He could be a biased witness. After all, we know that a police officer who allows his personal feelings to get in the way of his work is blocking the course of justice. Well, I'll be getting back to my office. Well, Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Will you see to it that the model gets back to my office before tomorrow morning? I'm calling the new press conference for 10 a.m.
You get the feeling that remark was meant especially for me about policemen not getting personally involved?
Well, I can't say that he's totally wrong, Hal. I mean, you know, you are fond of the users, and so am I, and... Yeah, come in. Good morning, Hughes.
Good morning, sir. I was told to wait outside until the DA left. Hi, Hal.
Hi.
Does that mean rumor has it that the press conference was canceled? Does that mean that he's closing the case?